Hey everyone, and welcome to the All Elite Zone podcast on YouTube and Twitch. We are here for AEW Dynamite Live, or excuse me, our AEW Dynamite Live reaction. It's not Dynamite should be very interesting tonight. There's a lot of good matches, and we'll see whatever else is on here. Normally that's what AEW is about, good matches. Uh, yeah, tonight should be a really good night. I'll be joined by some other people momentarily. Hopefully, you guys can see and hear me all right. But match-wise, I know we'll probably see Swerve and Joe, which that's the main event of AEW Dynasty. So that's pretty much they're going to be doing something on the show tonight. Whether it be it's probably going to be an in-ring talking segment, which is best. That's how you build feuds up. But Okada, they just announced Okada's in action. It says in action, so probably a squash match. I don't know for the title or not. I know they've been using Okada and Pac. We do have. Speaking of Samoa Joe, I forgot Samoa Joe and Dustin Rhodes. Samoa Joe and Dustin Rhodes will be going against each other tonight. Non-title match. I don't know why it's not for the title. The only reason I think it wouldn't be is because Dustin Rhodes is not in the top 5. Looks like that's the match we're starting with now: Samoa Joe versus Dustin Rhodes. I like Samoa Joe and Dustin Rhodes, but this is the Wish version of Cody Rhodes versus the Roman Reigns.
The Wish version, that's a good one.
I'm sorry. I like Samoa Joe and Dustin Rhodes, but this is it kind of feels they're doing this because of that, which is probably I don't know if it is or not, but oh wow.
Hello all in the chat. Hello everyone in the chat.
Right out of the way, Swerve Strickland attacks Samoa Joe. I was saying that they're probably going to do something tonight. Since they're the main event of the next pay-per-view coming out, so they'd have to do something.
Yeah, I'm hearing some big talk about them, but nothing's concrete until we see it, I guess.
Oh, God, tell you. Samoa Joe, last week we had that contract signing, and Joe pretty much won that fight, but he didn't win the war because Swerve Strickland, damn, spear right through the table. Might as well chunk that table. I tell one with the foot, no. Samoa Joe's a big dude. I met him in person. He's
huge in person.
It's not an understatement. They say he's huge. He's huge. He's not.
Oh.
Damn. We're still getting Joe on the roads. Looks like Joe's out.
Now we got security out to push Swerve back. What's going to happen here, guys?
Yeah, right out the gate. I love it.
Yeah, Swerve and Joe went right at it.
Swerve strictly being backed off by our referee corps. Well, this is a very
I don't think Swerve should have done that.
Fans, let's take you back.
If Swerve knows anything about Samoa Joe's history, is when you attack Joe, he comes back even worse.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Just ask AJ Styles. Ask AJ Styles what happened to his 2 teeth that got knocked out.
Good example. That's a really good example.
It's like if anyone's seen his TNAs or really anything in his career, he's always been. Say in certain storylines when someone attacks him and he has to come back with a vengeance, it's not very pretty for a person who's going against.
No.
We got 13 people here. Chris and Goat, good evening. All your greetings can't say for a show. We just want to say hi.
Guys, I've been trying to get a word.
Good evening, Pro Wrestling Go.
We definitely appreciate it. We miss you. We miss having you on. We definitely appreciate commenting. But Isaac, Heidi as well, Deb Rowan, how you doing, Deb?
And he assures me that he will be addressing the heartless actions of Trent
This won't
Beretta.
be the best Dynamite after WrestleMania. Now we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know if he can top. I don't know if he can top what WWE's doing right now, but that's another discussion.
What was the Raw after? Well, I guess Dynamite after Mania in 2021 because that was peak AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Pentagon. Oh yeah, we got a Pentagon. Now, this is a dream. I will say for me, this is a dream match. Like the Omega and the El Vikingo, that was not a dream match to a lot of fans, but this is just out of the ordinary. It's like Omega and El Vikingo go together because their wrestling styles are high flying. They do the same stuff, but Pentagon doesn't really do the same stuff.
But it's interesting though, just to see how that all meshes together.
Yeah, like that's why I'm looking forward. That's why I think this is a better dream match than that because I really don't know how this is going to go. But Edge is defending his TNT Championship. I know. I don't know if we're still getting Joe and Rhodes. I guess we still are. It's not supposed to be for the title. It's an eliminator match.
Okay.
But
I see the loophole there.
But Joe's been using the rankings to his advantage. Like, not just anyone's getting a title shot. So he gave him an eliminator match on Collision. He beats Joe, then he goes for the title, and he's not beating Joe. So Rhodes,
True.
He probably isn't going to get a title shot. But this weekend they have Battle of the Belts, and they're having Roderick Strong versus Rocky Romero in an eliminator match. Isn't Battle of the Belts all the title? Like every match.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
I don't know why there's an eliminator match on a championship show.
Kind of defeats the purpose of the name,
Roderick Strong won the Battle Revolution, and he hasn't defended the title not one time. He's just been going against people in just eliminator matches. He went against someone on Collision or Rampage, eliminator. He went against two other people, eliminators. Like he hasn't had one title defense yet. He's only been champion for almost 40 days. I get they're trying to protect the ranking system, but they really need to adjust that because they still got Orange Cassidy in the top 5, and he hasn't even had a singles match in how long? Since Revolution?
Yeah, it's been a minute. I actually like the ranking system, really.
I don't see how he's in the top 5 since he hasn't been in a singles match in over a month. But I like that it's back because it gives you an insight of who's going for what. You can kind of see who's going for what title. Like we seen Roderick Strong, who was creeping in the top 5, and he ended up pulling his Orange Cassidy.
I think it gives it more prestige too when you give it ranking, when you give the company rankings. I mean, I like it.
Yeah, I've always liked the rankings. If anyone knows me, I keep up with a lot of the records and stuff, so it kind of makes it more fun when you see top 5s and stuff.
Right.
SMS Darkness, thanks for watching on Twitch.
Are you ready?
Yeah, we're ready. This is going to be an interesting episode of Dynamite, so everyone better be ready, because if not, then
but it seems like what's going on backstage, it seems like people care more about what's going on backstage now.
Yeah, even Tony Khan, really, he cares about what's going on behind the scenes. Oh, it's clear. Dad, what's going on? Got 11 days for Dynasty. Yep, 11 days. I actually was going to go down, but I decided to. I went to Revolution. I know some people on Twitter and all that's going to think that I don't like AEW, but I kind of decided to go to SummerSlam instead of Dynasty. Not that I don't like.
That's kind of a better choice.
Not that I don't like AEW, or mean, I'm still going to watch Dynasty. I plan on doing a live reaction to it on here, you guys. Yeah, I plan to react to Dynasty on here. But I just wanted, for me personally, I'm really invested in the WWE. I mean, I'm still invested in the AEW, but just decided to SummerSlam. But I'll probably be going to another AEW pay per view really soon, probably. I've already been to 3 of them, so I don't think Revolution will be my last.
But how many chances do y'all get to go to the Royal Rumble? I mean,
Yeah,
SummerSlam. I mean,
yeah, SummerSlam is something. It's in Cleveland, which is not too far from me. Which Dynasty isn't far from me either. It's in St. Louis. But people like to twist it and think that I don't like AEW or whatever. But if I didn't like AEW, I would have shut this podcast down already.
Right. I mean, contrary to popular belief, it's okay to like WWE. It's okay to like New Japan. It's okay to like the independents. It's okay to like whatever you like. It's okay.
I mean, I can't. I'm supposed to enjoy all wrestling. I can't enjoy all wrestling because not all wrestling is good. But I guess certain people, I don't know. I guess if you're someone that's been supporting AEW for a long time, you never watched WWE, but then you start watching WWE, then you're supposedly portraying AEW. But I don't know.
I don't agree to that kind of tribalism personally. I don't believe in that tribalism stuff, man. I mean, wrestling is there for everybody. Get whatever you can out of it.
Yeah, I like.
Toby, why aren't you eating your Cinnabon pull part?
I've been watching both WWE and AEW lately.
The best part. It's got the perfect amount of cinnamon all throughout. It's got the frosting dialed on every piece.
Toby, eat your breakfast.
Catherine, how's that helping? It's all the best part.
I don't know what they're waiting on the AEW Fight Forever game to add Pentagon Jr. attires. Like, how does he only have one attire in that game? He's came out with the Joker, Pentagon. He's come up with the blue tights, the red and blue for Chicago. He's had green. He's had red and white. I don't see how he doesn't have a whole bunch of attires in that game.
I mean, in all honesty, they've kind of fell off when it came to Fight Forever. I mean, I think everyone playing that has they have to agree with that kind of, at some point.
Yeah, I know today Jimmy Hayter is now in the game. If anyone bought Season 3, or you can still buy it as its own thing, but Season 3 passed came with Swerve Strickland, Claudio, and Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter was the last person at Season 3, and she came out today, so that's in Season 3. I know someone that works for AEW Games, they posted on Twitter that they got some exciting news to share this week, so maybe a Season 4, but if they're just going to add wrestlers, I don't see where this game's going to go. Like, they really need new match types in that game.
Yeah.
And at this point, it might be already too late. They can add new match types and it won't mean a thing. I think it'd probably be best to, if they don't plan on giving people what they want, then just scrap this game and start production on a whole new game.
I agree. Yeah.
But really pan it out this time, because this game was supposed to be released in 2022 or 2021, and it got released in 2023. Like, it was delayed, really big delay. They need to have a really good plan out how they're going to roll this game out, and how they're going to roll out stuff after the game's already released. Like, they need to really get all that, and I don't think they should call it Fight Forever 2 either. I feel like the name Fight Forever is, people don't want to remember that. I mean, you could still call it Fight Forever 2, I guess.
I mean, really, you can base the games off the shows alone. You can have a game called Rampage. You can have a game called Collision. You can have a game called Dynamite.
Yeah, I would go to an 83 to a DVD pay-per-view, which I've been to 3 pay-per-views within throughout 2022, Full Gear 22, and Revolution 24. And they were all good pay-per-views. But for me, WWE is really there's a lot of excitement. Like WWE has been good in a long, long time. Like, cause
Yeah.
like they're consistently putting out good stuff. Which it got me really excited to go to SummerSlam. So I bought tickets for SummerSlam, but I'll be going to the AEW pay-per-view again this year. I won't be going to Double or Nothing in Vegas. I know that for sure. But I'll probably go to All Out or Full Gear or something this year. Thanks for watching.
Hey, Brenda.
Next AEW game should be based off of Here Comes the Pain and No Mercy, which this game, a lot of people compared it to No Mercy. I feel like the gameplay was really, really good and stuff, but the only thing that AEW Fight for the lacked was putting out new content once the game dropped. Like,
I agree. Nothing wrong with the gameplay alone. I think the gameplay is awesome.
Yeah, like maybe a few minor tweaks to the play, but it was really, horrible. It was just how they rolled stuff out, and they didn't really pan. I don't know if they didn't pan it out good, but something was off there because it took 2 months to release the first DLC of the game release. So, but they got a lot of.
I think business wise, they had to know that the fans are going to be wanting more out of it.
Yeah, like we were gonna get in a world that video games, people play video games nonstop. Like that's something that people do a lot nowadays compared to years past. They look forward to, especially wrestling video games. Like if you only put a certain, and AEW is a basically billion-dollar company, so they have the resources to be on par with WWE because they have the money.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, not every video game is going to be the best, but of course, if they come out with a new video game, there's something else that they won't have. And like CM Punk won't be in the game, but I feel like they can still get Sting for all their future video game property. I feel like Sting would allow them to still use his name in their video games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think Sting will be basically like how WWE has Andre the Giant. Like Andre's in every single one of their games.
True.
It doesn't matter what game it is. Andre the Giant's always in it. I think he'll be. I think Sting will probably always have something to do with AEW.
He's not out of it. Couple shots, maybe a bit half-hearted.
All right, we got 18 minutes. Countdown to the Young Bucks. 18 minutes till viewership drops.
The viewership drops.
I was thinking about that. Like I was thinking about what you would call it. AEW were the best wrestler.
That's not bad, actually. Kind of a harken back to WCW where the big boys play.
That would be a bad name. I mean, they could go with AEW Fight Forever too, but I feel like they really need to do better. If they make another game, they really need to do better. Because I feel like Fight Forever was a very disappointment to a lot of people. Because it was the first video game outside of WWE in so many years that was like an actual competitor. Well, it wasn't going to go against 2K in any way, but just competition-wise of wrestling games. And I feel like it failed to like they would always say that they were going to constantly release new content once the game was launched, and Kenny Omega didn't hype the game up and didn't really deliver. So I feel like they really they need to. That would probably be the best name right there. AEW were the best wrestler. Like that.
That is a good name. I like that.
Like if you're not gonna do, I don't think they should do Fight Forever 2. They should come up with a whole new name. And that would probably be the best name. AEW were the best wrestlers. Hey there, guys. Thanks for the song. Guys, all up 6. Yeah, I've seen previews yesterday. I went to go see a movie.
Picture, don't go anywhere.
Someone had entrance and talking things for 20 minutes. AEW go from match to match, which I love. Talking segment. Did WrestleMania have a talking segment this year? I know
They had a few of them, but they're in the ring mostly.
I know they had a. The only talking segments I can think of was when Triple H came out and Stephanie. You know, when they opened the show. Most, from what I can remember, all of WrestleMania was match to match to match to match. Like, they didn't have many talking segments. Now on TV,
And that's the thing. I don't mind talking segments as long as they're hitting, as long as they hit and there's a point to it.
Yeah, like if you got someone, for example, MJF, he's gonna make it worthwhile, and people are gonna love whatever he's doing. But
Right.
if you have someone like, I mean, Chris Jericho is he's one of the all-time greats, but right now what he's doing is not clicking. So you're doing the same stuff over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Then it's just not interesting. Which talking segments do progress stories. But you just gotta have a good mixture in between. Of both. AEW should make a second game called AEW The Past versus the Present. That actually would be good too. Like, there's a lot of good stuff they could call it. Which they got a lot of new big names now that aren't in Fight Forever that could be in their second game, like Edge, Mercedes, Will Ospreay.
Yep.
Because if we're gonna wait on Fight Forever, we probably won't have Mercedes in that game until 2029. I mean, the way that they roll out stuff, like we would never get those people in the current game. So I feel like
I'm thinking like predicting like they're gonna go if they're gonna do a game, another game, they're gonna do it through another company. They're gonna change companies and do it a whole new way.
I'm surprised they didn't work with WB Games, which maybe that's part of their new deal. Their AEW's deal with WB Discovery expires in October.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe they get WB because they make video games too. They just made the Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League game,
Mortal Kombat games.
But Ukes, they don't. I mean, Ukes is all right, but I don't know who the blame is on him. Like, some people say it's all in AEW. Some people, I don't know. It's someone. Someone wasn't doing
I like to think they all have a hand in it. They all have a hand in the whole thing.
Then I remember one person, the community manager, not community manager, but someone that works for AEW Games, like they were on vacation every 2 weeks. If anyone knows who Kenny Baum is, he posts a lot of wrestling game content and other stuff. And like he was talking, like I listened to those guys for news and stuff, and he was the one that said that they're one of the persons who works for AEW and who they depend on for their gaming stuff was like on vacation every 2 weeks, and like I need to apply for AEW Games so I can get that vacation done. But all in seriousness, I hope they put out a new game and they really do better. Because Fight Forever was a good game. The only thing that they didn't do right was add new content.
Yep.
Ooh, that was good.
Oh man.
This is looking at. Edge and Pentagon is not a match I thought I'd be seeing in 2024.
I'm glad to see it though, huh?
I really never thought Edge would come out of retirement. It's still crazy to see that he came back.
Yeah.
So all those years he didn't even have to retire. We could have gotten a lot of matches. Sharpshooter.
It just seems like since he returned back to wrestling, he has like a newfound, kind of a second wind of energy and like, more pep in his step, and it's cool. It's cool to watch him nowadays back and doing his thing.
Yeah, now once he retired, he did a lot of movies and TV shows.
Yep.
Did a lot of that stuff. I used to watch The Flash, and he was a villain on there. He was the Atom Smasher.
The Atom Smasher. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, basically, the character kind of basically like Ant-Man a little bit. Like he can go really small and he'd be huge.
And the attack of Penta
He's in some
all
other
throughout
stuff.
this match had the champion
He was,
Adam Cole fighting
He had a lot of movies. He
defensively
was in
the entire
Christmas
night.
movies. And
Smart challenger.
There's one movie he was on a plane. I forgot what it was called.
they were the
He
comics
was on a
stuff.
plane.
To open him up
If you
for
want
that
you
armbreaker.
guys know any Edge movies or TV shows, let us know what your favorite stuff that he did outside of wrestling. Once he retired, he went into Hollywood kind of. Let us know what you guys liked about, or what movies or TV shows you liked most that he was in. I'm curious to see what all you guys say. I actually bought a movie at Walmart a few days ago and Wade Barrett was in it.
Oh, really? That's a collector's item.
Yeah, apparently it's been out for a while. I didn't know it came out. Like there's some like Goldust, Dustin Rhodes. He was in a movie I seen. But what's the guy? There's a famous actor. And he's got that British accent, and he goes well with Wade Barrett. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to. Ooh.
This has been an awesome match. Better than I thought it would be.
Do you remember when Mr. Kennedy was in the Marines?
Oh yeah, I remember that movie.
John Cena was a Marine. I think Ted DiBiase was one of them.
I think The Miz was in one.
You know that one movie? A lot of WWE people were in it. And they killed everyone in that movie. Oh,
Yeah.
Like The Miz was in it, Eve Torres. There's a bunch of them. They killed everybody. Like they couldn't even make a sequel if they wanted to.
Nah, I couldn't.
I don't know what the movie. It wasn't Marines, but it was another one. John Moxley was actually in a movie. While he was in AEW, he shot a movie. I actually have them.
No, the cage fighter movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have that. I haven't even watched it yet. They've had it for a few years. Oh, there goes Alex Abrahantes. I'm surprised this match hasn't ended in a time limit draw.
Right.
It's 7:28. This has been a really back and forth hard-hitting match.
I like the idea that the match is so good they just forget the time limit and just let it go. I like the idea of like them, somebody back there like, okay, no, let it go. Tell them we'll take it home in about 5 more minutes.
Dangerous territory, high above the ring. And what is this? What's going to happen here? That's working the heels underneath the arm.
Ooh.
That power slam on the apron was sick, though. I love that. That was dope.
A new TNT champion right there.
Isaac. I like Hogan's and Natty movies. Yeah, that was something. England's in I was actually watching Family with Steve before the Bushwhackers in one episode.
Yeah.
It was funny.
He barely kicked out, guys. I mean, those legs lifted. There wasn't much in it, but enough to kick out. I believe we may have just crossed the 20-minute mark in this match. Just under 2 minutes remaining. Copeland turns things around.
That's Tyler just mentioned. Oh, damn.
Damn.
That was the finisher of the year. I don't know if you've seen it yet or not, but
What a match, man. Oh, my God.
that was the finisher of the year. He nailed it right in midair. He got that off perfectly. Jericho tries
Incredible.
Jericho tries doing a lot of stuff, but he can't connect it. He actually 100% connected. Like that reminds me of Ricky Starks and Jay Lethal. Like
Yeah.
that was perfect. Very good match between Edge and Pentagon. They put a really good match.
That was incredible. I loved it.
Tony Khan got too busy with the Punk stuff. They forgot the arena. Julia.
This is after the battle that Colt just went through. Brody King now. Oh, God. Running. Boom. Into the jaw of Copeland. And Tony, that's right. It'll be House of Black versus Copeland. Mark Briscoe and Eddie Kingston in 11 days' time at Dynasty. Oh, he's got that rear naked choke on him. Oh, Julia Hart, what is she?
Hmm.
She earned her shot at Julia Hart in the TBS Championship last week. And look at this, Brody King pulling Julia Hart out of harm's way.
Oh.
She got that. That's mist all over her face. Julia had the mist loaded up. Now, Brody King.
I got Brody King.
Damn.
Yeah, we got 6-man tag at Dynasty. We got House of Black versus Kingston Edge and Briscoe. You see one of the comments. No, I never threw that comment.
Victory over Shane Taylor Promotions, but not without a
Can you get somebody towels?
immediately after your match, but maybe a little bit of redemption.
Combined both. The AEW has World, TNT,
into the equation.
International, TBS, Women's, Trios Tag, that's 8. ROH, World Tag, 6-man, Women's.
Our strategy is very simple.
Probably at least over 30 between the both of them, WWE and ROH.
Yeah.
If you count all four of those, yeah, AEW, ROH, WWE, and which NXT and WWE is the same thing, really. Like,
you go in and you dump Shane Taylor right on his head.
It's basically a third brand for WWE at this point.
You stretch him out, you put him in the sleeper.
The ROH is kind of with the AEW and kind of not. It just
yeah, kind of doesn't want to make up its mind.
Well, yeah, when Tony bought it, he said it's its own company. It's going to be a standalone thing. It's going to be completely different from AEW, and then it's basically just. It's not even really like AEW. It's just Dark 2.0, really. AEW Dark.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which Mark Briscoe is the new ROH world champion.
I like your necklace. Thank you so much.
But I guarantee that he won't be on the weekly show of ROH any. Because Eddie Kingston hardly made any appearances.
Barely.
I don't feel like we got to even see him with the ROH champion at all. And besides him being on AEW.
Yeah, barely on, I feel.
Yeah,
been killer matches, though.
Like, the only time we've seen him, I mean, he was on AEW with it, but he didn't defend the AEW title at. He only defended the Continental title on AEW. He didn't defend the ROH title. He may have been on ROH with the world title a few times. I don't really watch ROH, so I wouldn't know, but I know there's like a story going with like even when Claudio was world champion, they didn't put him in any feuds on ROH or anything. Like He would just go against random jobbers,
Yeah.
and then he'd defend the titles. He would defend the ROH World Title on AEW. Like he went against Jericho for it. He went against some other people.
You know what I mean? I really don't personally. I don't see the point in defending the ROH title on AEW television, but that's just my opinion.
It's always supposed to be its own thing, you know. ROH is. I mean, I feel like they can make it their own NXT, like ROH is, but even NXT they have their champions and stories, and the champions are on the shows weekly. Like they have things. Like it's still a WWE product, but it has its own identity to a certain extent. Like if anyone watch NXT, like they do have crossovers with WWE guys coming over to NXT and vice versa, but
it has to be special occasion usually.
Yeah, like they had Natalia go over there last night. She went against Roxanne Perez. Johnny 17 for AEW and WWE. They're neck and neck.
Oh, 34. Okay. All in total. That's cool, no?
Best star, moments, Undertaker, Sabu, or House of Black. Oh, that's interesting. For me, as a fan, probably it'll always be The Undertaker.
Taker, yeah.
But I don't know. Sabu has some wild stuff. And House of Black has, I guess, for just nostalgic and larger than life, would be The Undertaker. But that's not just. But House of Black and Sabu had a lot of good stuff like that. Zachariah Khan, thanks for watching.
Welcome.
We definitely appreciate everyone watching from both YouTube and Twitch. At the time is it? At the hour mark, I do have an announcement to make. Another guest announcement interview. I'll be making at the hour mark, so
all right.
Friends, come on in, and we'll do it at the hour mark. It would be 8 o'clock Central, 9 Eastern at the hour mark. So, but whatever's fixing to come up next, they're supposed to show that footage. I don't know how this was supposed to go.
They are milking this, though. They are milking it.
Something tells me it's not going to be what people think it's going to be.
If the Young Bucks have anything to do with it, it's probably going to be like a spoof.
If they actually show that, then Vince Russo's got to be in AEW somehow. Like this is something that Vince Russo would do.
It's like the Wizard of Oz. He's the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, like that's what he did in 2000. not the same way, but that's what he did with Hulk Hogan and all that. Really, it was just a bad situation. If anyone watches the documentaries to that, even Jeff Jarrett said no one wins in that situation.
Mark Briscoe, congratulations on winning the Ring of Honor World Title this past weekend at Supercard.
There we go. Mark Briscoe is the new ROH World Champion. He had never won the title, and he won it on the day that his brother won it a few years ago.
Well, Renee, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm feeling amazing. Hey, but simultaneously, I'm in pain. I can't lie to you. We had a dog fight, a war. King, how you feeling, dog?
It's crazy how they want to get each other.
I'm beat up, though, too, but you know what? This pro wrestling ain't ballet, folks. So we do what we got to do. You know that. I saw that dog fight you guys had.
Where were you guys at when Edge was getting beat up?
Okay.
Exactly. Where are they?
Julia Hart.
You're all supposed to be sitting together at Dynasty.
We are good for Dynasty.
I don't think you're good for Dynasty. You can't even trust your partners.
What about this? Next week on Dynamite, you put that championship on the line against fellow Nightmare.
What the hell?
What?
Brody, I saw you beating up on Adam. Julia, try to get me. Not enough damage this time.
It was still Willow.
So, Dynamite next week? What do you say? We team up.
Oh, that would be interesting, though. Mixed tag.
I like the sound of that, actually.
Edge and Willow versus Brody and Julia.
Before we take out the House of Black. Willow, What do you say? You and me, Brody King, really hard. Next week with Dynamite.
You can't even trust your tag partners. You just sit there thinking, you're getting your ass whooped and Will about to come out.
I said you smelled like virtue. I apologize. I just should not have said that publicly. You good?
I thought Stokely was going to say, how about you defend the title against me? He get killed. Stokely versus Edge. Stokely did it. Get killed in that.
It's a missed opportunity right there.
Tony Schiavone was like, what are we about to do?
I understand that we're going to go to the back where we're going to hear from our executive vice presidents, Matthew and Nicholas.
Tony Schiavone was like, what the hell did I get myself into?
All right. I think the TV audience is ready to see this footage. So without further ado, let's roll. Hang on. Give the people a little bit of context.
They're gonna swerve it. They're gonna swerve it. I got a feeling it's gonna be a huge swerve, a big spoof. I'm listening to all this. I love that bringing Jack Perry in because I mean, damn, they're saying, hey, he was a big part of this. Yeah, oh snap! Well, I was wrong. Okay, now I see why he was fired.
Wow.
Wow, indeed.
Wasn't really anything. I mean,
I mean,
it was.
it was exactly what CM said. Really,
What was that?
it was exactly what CM Punk said. Anyway, I mean,
It wasn't really anything. It was
he
FTR
didn't.
to
He didn't
say.
punch him. He just took him a little bit. You know.
What are you two hoping to accomplish?
Ooh, that was something else. Alrighty. I mean, the snippet showed CM Punk putting his hands on him. I mean, that's exactly what CM Punk said he did. He never denied it. So yeah, in essence, that really didn't show us anything. They have woven the footage into an angle. Look at, oh man, that's wrestling for you. I mean, I can't even deny that. FTR's got a pretty good point. Pretty good point.
That was a pretty good promo by FDR.
That was some. I like that. That was fun.
Tony really just embarrassed himself here.
You think so?
I mean, everything Punk said he did, that was in the video, man. There wasn't anything that he said that he lied about, really.
Really?
Dope.
So yeah, I mean, didn't show anything we didn't already know.
And Punk didn't say he didn't start the fight. No.
I mean, but in the video, he from the looks of it, he's the one that put the hands on him first.
Yeah, like even Punk didn't. He never said he started or didn't start it, but
And to
I mean,
me, it
it's
wasn't
pretty
even a
cool.
fight. Really, he just
No.
started choking him. Jack didn't start
That's what
swinging back, from what I saw.
if that's what they consider a fight. They haven't
That's not
seen
a
any real.
fight.
No, that's just. And I'm surprised, like all those people heard them. Like they had to have heard them arguing. They didn't do anything about it. Well, they did about once they started going at it, you know.
Yeah, I didn't think that they figured that CM Punk was going to put hands on him. I didn't think they didn't see that coming. I don't think.
From knowing from previous events, they should have, a brawl out. I should have known that.
I mean, but it makes sense why he was fired. I mean, but
Apparently, as you can see, he turned to Tony in that thing, and he said he quit. Like that's probably like was there like audio to that, or was it just?
I'm
I don't
not
think
sure what he said.
well, like in that clip, like there wasn't any audio to it, was there? I don't think
Not
there
from
was,
what I saw.
because he said
No,
they
it
turned
was
to Tony
mostly just visual.
because he said in the interview, he said I quit and you're a clown, Tony, and that's probably something on the lines of what he said, because you could see at the end of it, turned to someone, had to be talking to Tony. Everything he said that happened.
Exactly.
We already knew all this. I mean, I don't know what that was.
It wasn't shocking. I mean, I don't know what they were going for.
It was what it was. I mean, it wasn't. I feel like some people thought it was going to be this big brawl fight, and chairs were going to go flying, and blood's going to go. I think that's which probably the brawl out one probably did,
Mm-hmm.
which we'll probably never see that.
I mean, maybe they wanted to do that before anybody else could.
I'm surprised no
Put
one
out the
leaked that.
footage.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised no one leaked that before.
Because it was going to get on the internet eventually. I mean, eventually it was going to make its way there.
But I can't wait for Dark Side of the Ring when they do brawl out. That's going to be the. Got a few comments. FTR, I agree. FTR normally is always pretty good on the mic, especially Dax Harwood.
Yeah.
They're both always pretty good. I agree, Roy. Yeah, that first match was really good. I want to see when CM Punk threatened Tony. There was no footage to show because, and like, yeah, that's another thing. So Tony said that people's lives were in danger in that fight. Whose life was in
No,
danger?
not really.
I mean, I guess
I
Jack
mean,
Perry.
he wasn't gonna strangle Jack. I mean, he
I
put
don't
his
think
hands
he would have
around his
killed him.
neck, but he wasn't gonna kill the dude.
But Tony Khan said himself in that thing that people who work for AEW's lives were in danger. Nobody's lives were in danger.
That's probably what
Like
Jack said.
it wasn't like someone was in there. You know how I will say I don't want to say certain things and get taken off here, but you know how a crime gets started and someone's in a store with uh, a weapon, I guess. It's
Yeah,
not like
yeah,
Punk had a weapon in there and he
right.
was holding anyone hostage but
But that
it
reminds
was
me of like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart whenever they had their fight backstage, and like they're just pulling each other's hair really, and then Shawn Michaels walks into Vince McMahon's office with his own hair in his hand, and said, "This is an unsafe working environment. I can't work with Bret." Da, da, da. It kind of reminds me of that.
yep, it was.
Because I bet you anything, Jack was the one that said, "Hey, I can't work with this dude. He put his hands on me. I don't want to be around him." And I wouldn't blame him.
Punk didn't want to be there anymore to begin with, so.
True. I think that was like his way out, you know.
But I feel like none of that would have happened if Perry would have just had his match and let that been it.
Yeah.
Which if you've seen
Keep
Tony
in mind,
Schiavone's
everybody.
face,
What? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh, you can go ahead.
I was gonna say, keep in mind, everybody. This is our opinion.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's our opinion.
You are in no position to tell me what the grind is all about, my friend, because you have no idea why.
Osprey's getting a little bit better about not darting his eyes. He's still darting them a little bit, but he's getting better at not doing that. Oh snap!
So Will Ospreay calls out Triple H.
Wow.
Triple H he's not even watching this. He could care less what these people say.
He could not care less. I'm like, bro, whoa.
Like Triple H won the Booker of the Year. He could care less. So
Dude, he's
whatever
not
he's doing
worried
right now,
about
it's
that at
not.
all.
Someone like Triple H could care less. His career, he's made a career out of himself. Yeah, he's done everything in his career. He's set for life, really. He has a good career. He took away. It's kind of funny how
This is AEW, where the best wrestle.
that kind of sounds like WCW in a way,
And it's my time. It's my time, Mr. Daniels.
where the big boys play.
Every single person, what I'm about, what I bring to the table, and why I am the ace of all elite wrestling. Dwight Daniels, you find out Sunday, the 21st of April, why my name is Will Ospreay, and I am.
Osprey giving them hell on the microphone. I'm sure there's a copyright infringement somewhere in that promo, but I can't find it. I can't put my finger on it. Trademark infringement, rather. Or gimmick infringement. Because I could swear there's another star that says a whole nother level, but I could be wrong. I could be off.
This is a really good promo by Julia Hart.
That was
Not
pretty
really a
awesome.
promo, or it was.
Like a vignette, kind of.
Normally, and like I wouldn't be surprised if Malachi is he's producing all those vignettes that they do. Well, it's Julia Hart.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Malachi Black is a very talented visual for stories, and he's a very good wrestler in ring too. But his
yeah,
the psychology that he has for stories and of his character and everyone else in his faction's characters, he knows how to tell stories that are very different than what anyone else is doing on a show. He can be very unique and stand out. And I like that about certain wrestlers, that they're able to stand out and be different than the entire roster.
I agree. Yeah.
And a lot of people like to, trash Malachi for whatever reason, but if it wasn't for Malachi, Julia Hart probably wouldn't even be TBS champion right now. She'd probably be a cheerleader still.
That's a good point. Very good point.
If it wasn't for Malachi, she would still be a cheerleader. She would just be a jobber like she was. She wouldn't be doing anything that really stood out. But Malachi took her under his wing, and he really developed her. She's improved her in-ring skill, her promos, her
elevated her.
Yeah, and Malachi runs his own wrestling school, so I'm curious to see what all his students look like. Because if he can do that to Julia Hart, imagine what he could do to some other people.
Exactly.
I don't know if Marina Shafir is capable of being changed, but
I saw that coming from all the way.
I don't know if she can. I don't know if she can be cured, but I don't know. Maybe Malachi could help. Really, I think
you never know.
I think the Serena Deeb angle that I pitched, I don't know how many times, I thought that worked perfect. And it would help set up for those AEW women's tag titles.
True.
She might have been first. I don't even think she would have, because she went for the TBS title before, and she lost against Jade in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, she probably wouldn't have won champion. Like, she probably wouldn't have even be signed right now. She wouldn't be taken seriously. If she was still a cheerleader to this day, she wouldn't be taken serious, and she would never have been a champion. There's a lot of things that never would have happened. Malachi Black putting her in the House of Black changed her career for the better.
Yeah.
It really
Fun fact. Yeah, that's true. Fun fact: when AEW first started, she was graduating high school.
Yeah, she was signed when she was like 9. She signed when she was 20. She's my same age. She's 22. Rena can be. Oh God. I like Roderick Strong. I don't want to not like Roderick Strong.
Don't want to not like him. They'll ruin Were you?
Yeah, I really like Roderick Strong, but there's a lot of new people here. I don't know if they've heard my. But I'm talking in a league where we all shake up. We took certain gimmicks in AEW and we booked them how we would book them. So mine was Marina Shavir. The entire reason the episode was created was because of my opinion on Marina Shavir. Really,
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
and
You don't want any mud on a Picasso painting. I get it.
yeah, my how I would have done it was for Marina Shavir, and it probably would have helped her and Serena Deeb, but Marina Shavir is doing this MMA type gimmick, kind of like Ronda Rousey a little bit. She's trying to fight like an MMA wrestler, like Tyra's MMA, her character's MMA. It's clearly not working. So, what I suggested, if anyone wants to go back and watch this, because I'm probably going to leave out detail because I can't remember everything, but go back and watch our Talking Elite. All Elite Shakeout Part 1. There's 2 parts. The part I'm talking about is in Part 1. I would have Serena Deeb take Marina Shavir under her wing, and basically Marina Shavir would ditch the whole entire MMA stuff. Serena Deeb would win her some tights, so Marina Shavir would start wearing the same type of tights that Serena Deeb wears. She would change her moveset into a like Serena Deeb.
Get her some boots.
Yeah. And she would basically be Serena Deeb's tag partner. But, Nyla Rose and Marina Shavir, at the time when I said all this, Nyla Rose was injured. So I had this idea. So when Nyla Rose came back, Marina Shavir would go against Nyla Rose, and Marina Shavir would beat Nyla Rose. But she's not injured anymore, so they would have to go a different way with that. But I think them two being together, they could be AEW Women's Tag Champions, and eventually them going against each other would be a good match. And then eventually, I think after they did all that, Marina Shavir could be a champion. That's only if Serena Deeb could actually help her. But Serena Deeb is very good in the ring. She's very one of the best technical women's wrestlers, probably of all time. I think that she could go a long ways with helping Marina Shavir. It would probably benefit both of them. It would give Marina Shavir hopefully something to do good with, and something for Serena Deeb to do, and possibly go for women's tag titles. But again, as I said, I probably left out a lot of details in that because I said that a long time ago. But definitely go check that out. Some other people did some different things. I did Jed Cargill as well. I thought Mark Henry should have managed Jed Cargill and Powerhouse Hobbs. Mark Henry never had a final match. So Mark Henry versus Hobbs. Hobbs beats Mark Henry, and Mark Henry passes the world's strongest man to Powerhouse Hobbs. Then Mark Henry also manages Jade Cargill, and she's the world's strongest woman. So he manages both of them. That's not going to happen now with Jade. It could happen with Hobbs, but Jade is not happening with. Definitely go check that out. Some other people did some other wrestlers. But it was very interesting, very fun to do that. That's a lot of talking.
Embrace this phase. Help protect
Spirit Squad.
Spirit Squad.
I actually went to a convention and I met Dolph Ziggler. I talked to him about that. He does not want to remember that part of his career, I don't think.
He wants to forget it.
He wants to, because I got him to sign my book, and the Dolph Ziggler name wasn't in there, but the only place that he was in my book was the Spirit Squad. So unfortunately, he had to relive those memories. Or did he wait outside?
There's a bad idea from bad creative.
Yeah. Did he get his ass against Samoa Joe? I
actually enjoyed the Spirit Squad personally. I thought they were entertaining.
I remember when they came back in 2016. It was only 2 of them though. Like, you remember when they did the Dolph Ziggler and Miz storyline?
Mm-hmm.
Two of them came back, and it was really funny. So now
I think
we
they were
got
funnier at house shows. If you saw Spirit Squad at house shows back then, it was you would get it then. If there were people out there that don't like Spirit Squad, if you saw them at house shows, you'd get it.
Remember, like their finisher would be like the Big Show. They'd pick him up and just throw him up in the air. And
yeah, that was a famous spot they did with Shawn Michaels through a table.
Damn, Hook just suplexed Shane Taylor like he was nothing.
So every time he does a suplex, it looks just like his dad when he does it. Like the
Yeah.
way he does, like the snap, like the way he snaps.
Jericho, Hook, and Shibata versus Lee Moriarty, Shane Taylor, and the returning Anthony Ogogo. He returned on Collision. He hasn't been seen on AEW since All In.
Mhm.
His last match, or his last big match, was against Cody Rhodes at Double or Nothing 2021.
I haven't thought about that. That's true.
But he's back in the ring tonight. But the last appearance was all in. Him and Paul White did something on the pre-show, or the 0 hour, or whatever you want to call it.
Like, yeah, 0 hour, I believe.
I know at one time they called him the buy-in. Then they kind of called it 0 hour. Kind of
I think they would call it like the buy-in and stuff when they're doing like the all in and all out. Very casino based.
Yeah. Was Siren? I do not know. No, Chris said he was going to come on, but apparently Chris always he's on here. I don't know what happened to him, but I don't know where Siren's at. She, I don't know. Guess she's doing but she's on here all the time, and she's all of our thumbnails and stuff. So she's taking
shout out to Siren.
If she's taking a night off, that's perfectly fine. You know,
Real deserved.
She has a lot of thumbnails. We do a lot of content. She does everything. So not
that's
everything.
True. She does some behind the scenes work that's it's killer.
A lot of the thumbnails you see, well, basically all of them. All of them you see is done by her. So
shout out to Siren.
Yeah, Siren does a lot for us. She's helped grow our audience. Damn. What the hell? Damn. Lee Moriarty just pinned and won against Shibata.
Wow.
I didn't see that coming.
Dude, neither did I.
Because normally,
I couldn't help but laugh, dude.
Because normally this match, you'd already assume Jericho was going to win, and Hook and Jericho would win, and all that. Right now, it's like Hook's kind of pissed at Jericho.
Some trouble in paradise. I'm not talking Kofi Kingston.
Trouble in paradise. I feel like Hook's going to turn heel.
It's inevitable, dude. It has to happen.
Someone's fishy with this. It's like someone's going to hit someone, or someone's going to do something right here. Which Hook's AEW really needs to seriously book him well. Which I don't know if he'll leave or not, but I can see WWE going after someone like him. He's young. He's very good in the ring.
Oh yeah.
All they got to work on is his mic, which he's been talking a lot more in AEW. Slowly, he's been talking more. But I could see WWE picking out someone like Hook. He's young, good in the ring.
Oh, definitely. Plus, his dad has ties to WWE as well still. So
I'd like to see him thrive in AEW. I think he could do a lot of things in AEW. I don't know how long he's got till his contract expires, but if I was Tony Khan, I would already offer him an extension.
Right.
Not that, not because, not that I don't want him to leave, but he deserves a pay raise. He's really improved over like really his first match. He wrestled like he was a veteran in the business. Like
Yeah.
I forget who he went against, but he was doing all kinds of moves that normally someone that like he was wrestling like he's been in this for years. Bullock doesn't want to leave his father himself. That's true. But there's a lot of people I never thought I'd see at WWE. That's went there. So, but I don't know.
I mean,
I think,
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was gonna say that he's a very good talent. He could be a future TNT champion, international tag champion. Probably in the near future, he could be a world champion. I think that if I was Tony Khan, I would go ahead and offer him an extension because number one, he's a really good talent. He deserves a pay raise. And two, I don't want to see him leave AEW. So, what were you gonna say?
I mean, I was gonna mention like just what you said. Like I can see him being in that big title picture. I mean, giving them a couple of years and some good angles. Hell yeah! I mean, why not? I think they got some gold there, personally.
Yeah, and he's already beat some of the top names in AEW. He's beaten Jericho. He basically squashed Jericho, really. Jericho's probably the biggest name he's ever beaten, probably.
I think so. Up to now, yeah.
Book's a very good talent. I would rather see him in. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him in WWE, but I just think that AEW could really capitalize on a big star and Hook. We got Okada versus.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who the hell this is.
Oh, and Johnny, I did hear about Keith Lee being there, but I believe he was with his wife, who is Mia Kim.
Yeah, there. He was there for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Normally they always do that. Like normally, I think last year, Buddy Matthews was there, and Malachi Black, but a lot of them couldn't be there this year because Collision was on Saturday or whatever.
Yep.
But normally you'll see like spouses and stuff. People from other companies will come there with their husbands or wives. That's normally how it always is. Not that people is going over there to be in WWE. Well, maybe he will go. I don't know. He wasn't there on business really.
Right. He was with his wife, who is still with the WWE. She's with the OC.
He was there in business for a hell of a lawsuit. Got to be.
Yeah.
The WWE's are they've done that in the past with AEW. Try to reach out to contracted guys. That's kind of breach of contract, but I remember they reached out to Swerve Strickland. I remember Swerve talking about it, and he just ignored them.
I mean, but that's cool to be there in your professional, in your professional life to where you can turn that down and you'll be fine,
Okada can talk some English. Pac and Okada. That's gonna be a really, really good match.
Beautiful drop kick. I gotta say that drop kick that he just pulled was beautiful. It's like AJ Styles, and they did a little backflip with the drop kick. Beautiful.
It's official. We got Pac versus Okada for AEW Dynasty. I kind of already seen that coming, but
he ran right through him, dude. That's crazy. It's still amazing seeing Okada on American television. That's awesome.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get my phone charger.
All right. And for those out there who have never witnessed Okada, any of his matches from Japan, I mean, if he's gonna continue to be anything like he was in Japan, you're in for a treat, for real. If you've never seen any of his matches, oh man, I mean, because there's a lot. I know there's a cluster of wrestling fans here in America and maybe elsewhere also that had never really seen Okada or watched any of his matches. But treat yourself. Do some research. You'll be glad you did. You'll be thanking me, so to speak. Oh snap! No, not the bastard. But I actually like this new elite they're forming here. Like I'm saying, I'm predicting. I could be off, but if I'm right, you can say you heard it here. I'm predicting that Jack comes back and he's going to be with the quote unquote new elite. Just a prediction. But if it happens, you can say that Mr. Jacobs said that this was going to happen. You can say I called. Ooh, Nick landed rough on that apron though. It looked rough. It's been a lot of heat going down on this show. I like it. It's been a heat heavy episode tonight. And that's one thing I wanted to touch on also is that I mean there's a lot talk about dwindling ratings and house show attendance and the TV taping attendance being low. And I mean there 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 are ways to fix all this if AEW is willing to listen. If AEW is willing to listen to the fans and actually give them what they want to see, maybe they may see some profit and viewership and bigger attendance. I'm not saying it's a sinking ship. I'm not saying that it's all bad. I'm saying that it could definitely use some improvement. And I think every AEW fan out there can agree with that personally. And as much as it may pain some AEW fans out there listening to say this, I mean, you may not want to hear it, but it's the truth. AEW should take a page or two out of WWE's handbook. Meaning, I've discussed this before. I think we've talked about this a thousand times here on the channel. You know, do more overseas shows, create a women's tag team division, do a lot of other things. There's so much you can do that fans are literally telling Tony. Whether it's in tweets or they talk about it through a podcast or whatever. Tony, or somebody higher up there, they're listening and they read that stuff and they know what the fans want. It's just a time of when they're going to give it. I don't know. I mean, it's just my personal opinion. And I have to state once again to anyone out there listening, these are just opinions. I'm not based on facts, and we share our opinions. You can have your own, and that is perfectly fine. I can't lie. I like Switchblade's Golden Bat though. That is hard. I like that. Makes me want to paint mine black. I have like 3 of them. Yeah, I agree, Johnny. AEW has to work on their PR as well. I definitely agree. I mean, because WWE, they're a machine. That's a well-oiled machine. I mean, they do that. They do the whole gambit. They do the interviews. They do they do like you know, Get More in America. They do radio shows. They do, commercials. They do TV spots. They have all these different things that they do when they hit your town. That everybody in the mother's gonna know that they're in town. Now, I do agree with that, Johnny. They need to work on their PR. They need to work on you know, their marketing as far as how they're pushing the product. That's something that I think AEW has a big issue with personally. And I mean, to be honest with you, you know, the cons are have just as much money as or they're just as big, I would say, as the McMahons. They have enough money to do all this stuff, but of course they have their other business ventures. Of course, it's like think of it like this: they have the soccer team, they have the football team. The wrestling side of the business. That's like their I guess you know their lady on the side, so to speak. Their side piece. And that's the way I've always seen it. Like their first love, of course, is going to be soccer, and football is going to be there, is American football. But like wrestling is like that the mistress, the one you keep on the side. You know. Now the thing is, if AEW was to go under, it wouldn't really make a dent in any of the cons' pockets. It wouldn't affect their bank account really. So I mean, that's the thing you have to understand, that Johnny, that Tony Khan and his dad, they have their hands in so many different pies, or their fingers in so many different pies, and they wear so many different hats. And wrestling, I don't think wrestling's not that big of a focus to them. I don't think it's not as big as like soccer, or the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's not going to bring in as much money to them. But I mean, it's well documented that WWE, they've made more money. They've made more money doing pay-per-views than some Super Bowls. So, but I'm saying, like, they maybe they should take a couple of pages out of WWE's handbook. And might not it wouldn't hurt, you know. That's suave all day. Well, that's your opinion, dude. You don't have to really watch it. That's the thing. It's up to you. You don't have to watch. Have your own opinion to it. If you think AEW's ass, okay, that's your opinion, and you can rock with that. No problem. Like Tony Khan, that's okay too. Oh shit! Speaking of ass, check out Tony Storm. Ugh, damn. Not the paint. Also, Suave all day. You don't watch the product. You just see post on IG, so you don't really know what's going on. Okay, I get it. You're one of those. That's fine. You can be one of those naysayers that don't really watch and then you just see stuff online about it, and that's cool. There's a cluster of fans that do that, but that's your choice. That's cool. I just don't agree with the whole thing of how you complain about something that you don't watch. Doesn't make any sense to me. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. Do what you do. But that's you. It's pretty funny though. You you talk about how much you hate it, and yet you don't even really watch it. That's funny. That's funny. To each his own, though. I agree, Davis. You should watch the product before you decide to bash it, bro. But that's your opinion. That's your opinion on a product that you don't you don't know anything about, which is silly. But hey, that's you.
What did Deanna Perrazzo do in that last segment?
All I saw was Tony Storm attacking Rosa, and like she wiped her paint off her face. It was crazy. Yeah, my stream decided to lag out on me for a few seconds when all that stuff went down. Then the only thing I caught was Storm attacking Rosa. Oh, that was a nice sidestep. Kind of reminded me of Charlie Brown and Lucy whenever he tries to kick the football. That's funny. That was pretty good.
Never before seen. We're going to have it next week here on Dynamite. And still to come tonight, our AEW World Championship Eliminator match. Samoa 2 week from tonight on Dynamite. How about did wonders from Rise.
And Johnny, I see what you're doing in the chat. It's okay. You can't, you can lead a horse to water. You can't make it drink.
Fridays on TBS. Yes, your favorite movie. You belong in the kitchen, and you belong on a corner. Every Friday night.
See us has to come there, PR, and no
Fridays
longer is.
on TBS.
They're really doing a lot of stuff. They're still doing a lot
Yeah.
of ESPN, Tonight Show, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, USA Today, like everything. But I don't even know, like a lot of people, that's when a lot of fans don't want to hear about it, but the business side of AEW isn't like it used to be.
Yeah, I was mentioning that. Yeah.
Before they were really hot, but right now they're not hot. So AEW really can't go on a show like USA Today or Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel. They can't do any of that because they don't have that big of an audience like WWE does.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some stuff they can get on. Like when they're promoting their stuff, they can go on local news channels and promote their stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, they'll never. I won't say never, but as of right now, they'll never get the kind of PR that WWE gets. It's going to
I don't think they're ever going to touch that.
I think it's possible for them to get, maybe not surpass WWE, but to get to that kind of level of
Yeah,
AEW.
it's possible.
Of AEW getting on, like Tony Khan showing up on ESPN and doing interviews or stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot of really good storytelling to get people to watch, people to go to the shows, and then ESPN will see AEW is really popular. We should have Tony Khan on ESPN, and that's how that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you think that they'd have the guy who owns NWA on ESPN? Hell no, they wouldn't. You want to know why? Because nobody watches it. Well, people watch it, but nobody watches it compared to bigger other stuff. I want Tony Khan, see what Tony Khan does with the money he will get from the next TV show. I just said he's probably just going to blow it on a lot of free agents.
Yeah. I mean, honestly speaking, like I said this before, I don't think that the Khan family are that much invested in the wrestling business. They have other bigger ventures that bring them more money. So I think, like I said, it's kind of like their thing on the side, you know.
That's what it feels like. I really wish they wouldn't treat it that way, because who wants to wrestle in a, like tonight they're in a 15,000 seat arena and they only got 3,000. You know, as a wrestler, you want to see that stuff growing.
Yeah.
And they're bringing in a lot of big names, like they've done Edge, Will Ospreay. I don't really consider Okada a big name to draw tickets, but he's a. If you follow wrestling, like not just as a casual fan, but as a like if you're a diehard wrestling fan, Okada is a pretty big name. But AEW's got a lot. AEW's got a lot of big names: Jericho, Moxley, MJF. But I hope that AEW eventually gets their business up, because it's kind of sad to see, you know, a match like MJF versus Kenny Omega in a half-empty arena.
That is sad.
It's not their fault. It's not the wrestler's fault.
Exactly. It's not the performer's fault at all.
But it is the performer's fault right now. And Jay got just kicked in the face. Ooh, that was a good Mr. Dropkick. I think it was a Mr. Dropkick. Yeah, I showed all that earlier. I don't watch that. Yeah, at least. But you should at least watch the product before you criticize it. But AEW is in the best Iron Man, Dog Collar, and Texas Deathmatch of all time. You're probably right. Dog Collar, Punk and MJF, Iron Man, MJF and Danielson, Texas Deathmatch. I'm assuming Moxley had a really good one. I don't know who it was against, but Moxley probably had a really good Texas Deathmatch. He's had so many of them, so he's bound to have. Maybe do him and Lance Archer. That was a good one. Top 5 steel cage match between Young Bucks and Lucha Bros. That was a really good match. I agree. Young Bucks and Lucha Bros have put on a lot of good matches. All Out 2019, their ladder match was really good. Steel cage match. Put a lot of good matches. Maybe a singles tag team match of all time. Maybe Young versus the Young Bucks. I think that match was really, really good. That was probably the best. That was probably one of the best tag matches in AEW. I don't know if it's the best tag team match of all time, but it's one of the best in AEW history. Ooh, Brian May wins the match, but Anna May she put Brian May in a super hold. Damn, she really put her to sleep. Who is this? Are we supposed to know who this is?
Oh, Stardom. Mentioning Stardom, that's nice. Joshi Wrestling. That's where Asuka came from in EO Sky.
Zero crowd reaction whatsoever.
Well, yeah, the majority of American fans don't know anything about Stardom at all.
Don't ask for a mic. Oh, you're going for it. I know what you're going for, but I think Bobby Fish actually got a fair reaction to that. What are they supposed to be doing?
And that's the thing. That's okay that they don't. A lot of people don't know about Stardom and stuff. This is a great way to introduce the American the American fans to Stardom, and then you can go on YouTube, Stardom, look up any match. I mean, Asuka has some killer matches back in the day when she was with Stardom.
That was gross. I'm sorry, that's just gross.
Yeah, anybody who's never heard of Stardom, do yourself a favor. YouTube some Stardom matches.
This makes no sense what they're doing right here. I guess this is something that they did in Stardom. They just sipped water and kissed, and
yeah, it's a bit of a crazy promotion, but it's very entertaining. Honestly, can't understand a lick of it, but it's fun to watch.
Stuff like that AEW does is just.
5 years ago at Double or Nothing, history was.
I mean, business is already going to the ground.
I mean, that's the kind of stuff that they would do in Joshi Wrestling, though. That's mostly from Joshi Wrestling. That's the kind of stuff they would pull in Stardom. So it's mostly kind of a Stardom thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a wrestling fan, I do recommend Stardom. Check that out if you're a fan of any female wrestling. It's where Asuka cut her teeth.
I just don't like how AEW, they bring all these people from all over the country, and they expect everyone to know who they are. Like,
yeah,
Tony,
I can see that. Yeah,
like to Tony, he thinks that these people are household names. Like that's what he thinks. Like that's what he comes off as. That
they're trying to push that. Yeah,
he thinks that these people are household names when in reality, they aren't known outside their country. Like at least like Jason Thunder Liger was known outside Japan because he actually wrestled for WCW, but I feel they should do better with bringing people like they bring a lot of people in that nobody knows.
Yeah, that's true. And also with Stardom, that's a promotion that they're working with that nobody really knows here in America. But I mean, maybe that's the point. Maybe they're introducing America to all this,
Yeah. I just don't get it. As a fan myself, I'm not gonna go back and watch Stardom. Like it's. I mean, if people
well, not the whole
that,
thing, but like certain matches.
Like I could care less. I mean, I know what Stardom is. I watched it before, but seeing whatever that's supposed to be doesn't really encourage me to want to watch Stardom.
It's more about the wrestling than anything. It's pretty hardcore, strong style wrestling.
Tony doesn't know what he's doing. And it's not even just about that thing, really. Oh God, really. Tony Khan is a real life Richie Rich.
You can say that. Yeah, you can say that. Daddy, I want a wrestling company. Okay, son, here we go.
Chick-fil-A dipping sauce, cologne. I don't know about that. I'll be Brent Ready wrestling.
All right. But yeah, that's a pretty fair comparison or parallel to Richie Rich, you know. Gets anything he wants. But yeah, I mean that's understandable. Joshi wrestling isn't for everybody. It's kind of a niche thing. But I'm one of those wrestling fans that if they're wrestling in the ring, I'm gonna watch. You know, I mean I like it all, but I'll give it all a day in court. You know, it's the same with lucha libre and same with catch style wrestling that's famous in Britain. That you see every week now on WWE television with Butch, or not Butch, Pete Dunne. But that's his whole thing. He does that catch wrestling that you see a lot of the old time British wrestlers do. Like Steven Regal, he did a lot of catch wrestling. So yeah, I mean, I'm one of those fans that I like to get it all. I like to sink it all in, each whatever kind of style. And I found whenever I discovered Joshi wrestling and Stardom, I couldn't help but like it. I mean, once you got into it, but it's not everybody's cup of tea, of course. But if you are interested in that kind of stuff, I highly I recommend it. I mean, you look at the kind of wrestling that Asuka and Io Sky do. That's the kind of wrestling that they do on Stardom. It's pretty much that hard hitting, strong style. Actually, that's a good idea to keep track of the interviews and stuff. See how many they do.
I think Juliana. I think I know who you're talking about. She debuted on NXT during WrestleMania weekend at Stand and Deliver. She got a good crowd reaction. Seemed like it feels like NXT is going back to what they used to be.
Yeah.
They had her as a free agent. Well, in kayfabe, like she's already signed to WWE. But in kayfabe, NXT used to have all kinds of free agents. When they would debut, they would show them in the crowd for a takeover. They would show them in the crowd like EC3, McIntyre.
Yeah, I remember that.
Bobby Roode, maybe. But that's
Yeah,
how
Bobby
they
Roode did it.
That's normally how they debut big free agents, and it feels like NXT is going back to that. But starting with Julia, or whatever Julia, I think her name is. I think that now since Triple H, well, Shawn Michaels is over NXT. I think that she's probably going to win the NXT North American Women's Championship.
I wouldn't doubt that.
I think that WWE is going to book her to be I think she's going to be, I won't say the next Asuka, but she's going to be a very big name like Asuka is. I actually think that she'll probably surpass Asuka, if I'm being honest.
Hey, it's possible. Never say never.
Asuka's all right. I kind of like Kairi Sane better than Asuka.
Asuka is like the only person that's gone through it that's like totally undefeated. no one's ever beaten Oscar in NXT.
Yeah, in NXT she was undefeated. At WrestleMania she's got a losing streak, but I remember in NXT like she had a long winning streak, and no one could beat her.
Longer than Goldberg's. Believe it or not, folks, longer than Goldberg's reign.
Like her streak actually meant something because in WCW each week they would add on wins. Like they like one week he would have 7 wins, then next week he'd have 14. So like they were just adding wins to make it go up, make it look even bigger. But
Yeah, Oscar totally beat Goldberg's undefeated record. So all in NXT.
yeah, Oscar can actually wrestle, and a lot of the stuff Goldberg did was embarrassing. You know, he went against William Regal, and William Regal, Goldberg is a big name in WCW, and Regal's kind of like a mid Carter, and he goes in the ring and embarrasses Goldberg. I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about. But
Oh, I definitely know what you're talking about. I watched it live.
I recommend watching the Monday Night Wars documentaries if you want to see a full in depth thing with that. Like they really just took Goldberg. He had a good look, taught him a few moves, and just sent him out there, and that's what he did. I mean, Goldberg had a
Like
really
these
good look.
days. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just say that Goldberg had a really good look. His entrance is probably one of the best entrances in wrestling history. You know, he comes out
Yeah.
with the cops and whatever, and then the pyro, and then the smoke coming out of his nose. And it's probably one of the best entrances of all time. But his overall wrestling wise, Oscar is probably the better wrestler between the two. But
It started. It's a side hug. Tween milestones like this may start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against.
looks like you want to keep track of how many years in media coach AEW. That's pretty interesting. I keep all stuff like that, not specific stuff, but like records and stuff like that. But let us know next week how many you count.
That's a good idea, actually.
I'm curious to see what you come up with. But yeah, definitely let us know, Johnny. I'm curious to see how many they do actually, because the pay-per-view is coming up on the 21st. And today's the 10th, so I got too long. So, where's your favorite women's match of all time?
Oh, good question. Yeah, that's hard to pick out of all time.
I'll say the best women's match I've attended live for, like I was in person for, is probably Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter at Full Gear 2022. But
that's a good choice.
Like that's just in person. Like that's the best women's match I've seen in person. But of all time, wow. I don't know.
Damn. I mean, for me, I think Alondra Blaze and Bull McConnell. That's probably one of the best matches. They did that one in Japan, I believe. They also fought. They also had some battles in WWF, but I think one of the ones I saw they were wrestling in Japan, and I think that's probably one of the best ones of all time. But it's hard to pick out, of all time. But that's up there. Alondra Blaze and Bull McConnell. That's up there.
Yeah, I watched some of the matches this last weekend. Bull McConnell went into the WWE Hall of Fame, and I went back and rewatched a lot of that stuff. And good, they had a lot of good matches with each other. Ooh, Dustin Rose is busted open.
Oh, I could barely tell with the red penny I already had on. Oh, damn, that is a messed up cut. Jeez.
Yeah, Dustin Rose really He's got it pretty good
Damn.
tonight. I seen on Twitter that Tony Khan said that there's going to be a little overrun tonight.
Yep.
So it might go back a little bit. This has been a pretty good main event.
Damn, Dustin is giving it all to this guy, man. Look at him go.
He hasn't lost a step, really. Dustin Rhodes is still...
No.
He's really going backwards. I mean, Dustin Rhodes has had some pretty bad gimmicks in the past. I mean, really, really bad gimmicks.
Oh, really bad. 7? Don't get me started on 7.
He's had some of the worst gimmicks of all time, but Goldust is probably one of his probably the most successful character he's ever had. But what he's doing now is probably some of the best stuff he's ever done. What's he called in TNA? Purple Rain or
Black Rain, I think.
Black Rain. It was stupid. Like they had the Rat come out with him, and
that was pretty stupid. Yeah, I agree. But he wasn't sober at the time, so I think he'll admit that was a dumb idea when he wasn't sober.
Yeah, he was part of that plane ride from hell. But he's changed his life up a lot. You can tell over the years.
Oh yeah.
Is he gonna cheat to win? Do it. You costed yourself a match, you dumbass. Now he's not. He could have had a title shot. Oh, no, he might still win it. Crossroads. Damn. You should have used the belt. I know you don't know Dustin Rhodes doesn't believe cheating, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. It was a really good match. Fans are on their feet for it.
It's the look on Dustin's face, man. It says it all.
I always love that move that Samoa Joe does in the corner where the wrestler comes near him, he picks him up and just slams him.
I believe that's a Uranagi. I think that's what it's called.
Get that chain again. Yeah. See, I told you, Dustin. You should use the belt. It came with that.
You should have used the belt.
Now you're gonna lose. See what I told you? Now I see why you never won a world title. You had it there, Dustin. You chose to take the nice guy way. Sometimes being a nice guy doesn't win championships.
Through that.
And now Samoa Joe's going to embarrass you in front of everybody.
But did Dustin kill her or what, man?
Uh-oh, come Swerve. Going after that chain. Are we going to have a dog collar match at Dynasty or something? Because they've been using this chain for a lot. Like in this entire feud, they've been using that chain a lot. I'd like to see a dog collar match between Joe and Swerve.
That would be awesome to watch, honestly.
Well, Joe said, "Get that son of a bitch away from me."
That was pretty funny.
Prince Nana wants the AEW World Title.
Johnny has another steel chain on a pole match.
I think you pissed Joe off, so I don't know if that was a good idea. All I'm gonna say is just ask AJ Styles what happened to two of his teeth. To two of his teeth. Joe looks like he's gonna cry. I don't know if he's pissed or what. He's probably both.
That's what I was thinking. Probably a little bit of both.
In kayfabe, I wouldn't want to make someone like Joe mad. That was a good ending right there.
I like it.
That was a pretty good show.
Yeah, yeah, it was. You gotta admit, Swerve looks dope with that belt, though. You gotta admit that.
Yeah, he looks. Is the show over for you now?
Yep.
Yeah, that was a pretty good show. I thought it was a good ending. I thought they had a good opening and ending. The opening was Joe and Swerve, and the ending was Joe and Swerve. Now it
Yep.
should be. Uh, that's how it should be when you're trying to build a. Like I feel like the world title should always be the priority of a show. Like that should be
Right.
your main story, and that's what they did tonight. Um, Also, Edge versus Pentagon Jr. was probably the match of the night. I'd say
That was a great match, honestly.
very good back and forth match, and the finish of that match was really good. From midair, Pentagon does the rope thing, and then Edge does a spear midair. That was a really, really, really good finish. We seen the Punk stuff, and that was whatever. I don't know what that was. I don't know how that's supposed to make AEW look good.
What were they accomplishing? What were they trying to accomplish?
I thought they were trying to embarrass Punk, but everything Punk said happened. I mean, everything he said in the
Right.
interview, and if you just do side by side what Punk says and what happened, everything he said wasn't a lie. So it is what it is. Um, I'm excited for Young Bucks versus FTR at Dynasty. Um, we're going to crown new AEW Tag Team Champions in that match, so that's going to be a really good match. But yeah, um, before we do our rating of the show, I meant to do it in the first hour mark, but I did have an announcement. Our next interview will be tomorrow. Very short notice. But as you guys know, we had Kevin Von Erich on not too long ago. Well, tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern, we will be having Kevin Von Erich's two sons, Ross and Marshall Von Erich. They've been on
Awesome.
AEW. They've been on AEW a few times. They've been on ROH. They've wrestled for MLW, Major League Wrestling. They've wrestled pretty much quite a few places. His sons, and they will be on here tomorrow for an interview. And our hope, eventually, by the end of this year, we want to have all three of them in one interview. Uh, the the deal was for this is we would have Kevin Von Erich for one interview, and the next interview we would have his two sons in two separate interviews. But my hope is we can get all three of them. But if you're a big Kevin Von Erich fan or Von Erich's a Von Erich's family fan in general, I definitely recommend watching our interview tomorrow. We got a lot of good questions we're going to ask his two sons. Yeah, as I said, 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. Definitely make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And we also have a lot of other interviews coming up. I actually just got through talking to the one before I went on here. One half of a tag team. I won't say who it is, but they were they were a WWE Tag Team Champion. This tag team was actually two brothers, believe it or not, and it's not the Hardys. I wish it was, but it's not the Hardys. But
Okay.
this is one half of a brother tag team, and they won the tag team championships in WWE. They currently do a lot of stuff in OVW right now, Ohio Valley Wrestling. But that's an interview coming up. We got a lot of other interviews. Yeah. Also have Talking Week tomorrow. The topic will be about indie wrestling. It'll be about the history of independent wrestling from the early years to where we are now with independent wrestling. Talking Week tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Topic is independent wrestling. But for our ratings for tonight, if I had to rate the show, I'd give it a seven. I give it a 7, straight up 7 out of 10.
Okay, that's fair. That's pretty fair. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna have to say, I guess, a good 6.9.
That's what I was gonna give it, but I mean, it was a pretty good show. I thought the opening and the ending were good because it opened with Joe and Swerve and it closed with Joe and Swerve. They made that feud the priority of the show, which I liked. And we got some other matches confirmed for Dynasty, Pac and Okada. I kind of already seen that coming, but we now just got it official. Pretty good show. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
Take that WWE and choke on it. I'm sure WWE could care.
They're fine. They're just fine. Trust me.
Yeah, it was a good show tonight. I'm not gonna say it was the best ever, but I think AEW had a pretty good show tonight. It wasn't one of the best episodes ever, but it was a pretty good episode. Karan, I'll be here for it. Thank you. We'll definitely look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. But we'll be back. See Friday. We won't be on here for Rampage, but we possibly will be on here for Saturday Collision and Battle of the Belts. Battle of the Belts 10 Battle of the Belts fixing to have. Friday night we're actually going to be on the other YouTube channel, Worldwide of Wrestling Podcast. We plan on doing a SmackDown live reaction. So if you guys haven't checked that out or don't know what it is, definitely check out it's basically our sister channel to the All Elite Zone. The All Elite Zone, we cover more so AEW, and the Worldwide of Wrestling, we do a lot of other wrestling besides AEW. But we're going to be doing a SmackDown live reaction this Friday. Again, it's called Worldwide of Wrestling Podcast. Type it in, subscribe, turn the notifications bell, and you won't miss anything that we do on there. We plan on doing a lot of WWE 2K24 content. We've been discussing that for a little while. Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No, just thank you all for tuning in and stick with us.
Yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow for our Von Erichs interview.
Peace.